But I want to welcome everybody to my channel, The Candy Shop. I am so excited. The Candy Shop. So this is my story time, The Candy Shop. Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Candy Shop. I am Candace.
And I am the real lovely C.
And this is the Ready to Love DC reunion recap.
Right, part one.
Yes, part one. So how are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling good. I can't complain. And you?
I'm feeling good. Ready to talk about this review because it was crazy. Let me acknowledge some of these comments. So, hey, Chi-Town Naja girl, dropping the candies in the chat. Be sure to drop the purple hearts in the chat as well. All right. And she said, welcome, sugar babies. And hey, Oval. Yes. So we can go ahead and get started. I hear a little bit of feedback. Do you have something playing in the back? Okay. All right. So first of all, the reunion was crazy. I do think my opinion of the people right now, I feel like it's very scripted. And these are all actors. So what do you want to start off with talking about first?
Well, Sean had 3 dates, but Sean wasn't ready to love. He was told that he said he had to go. It was always something, and he always he just used Sabrina, and he's unapologetic to me, very unapologetic, so they made him feel, he said, unappreciated.
Really?
That's what they said. He said he was glad that it was over with. He said, hallelujah, thank you, Lord, that it was over with. He was glad that it was over. He was relieved, put it like that. He was relieved. And Sean, was the one that came in with the pool with Shiloh when the curveball was turned, but he didn't have a connection. I think it was because the comment he made with Supreme. I really do.
Yes, and I want to acknowledge Rep. So hey, Rep, she says, hey, lovely, hope all is well. I'm cooking but listening. And she said, hey, to Shy Naja girl. But when Sean, he didn't seem like he was genuine at all with anybody. He was very, I don't know, he seemed like an actor to me. I did like that he apologized to the one, he apologized to somebody. I can't even remember. Was it to Sia or someone? He apologized, I thought.
I think it was, well, I don't think it was to Sia. I think it was Sabrina. That's what I was talking about. It was Sabrina that he apologized to, and Sabrina apologized to him also when he met her, was introduced to her friends. You remember that?
Yes.
And the guy friend and the female friend really drilled him. And as she walked him out the door, she whispered in his ear, said, "I'm sorry."
Yes, I agree. Mm-hmm. With that exchange, the friends could already see that he wasn't for her. And I don't think Sean was there really for anybody. He just, to me, he didn't make any connections with the ladies. But I did like the way that he looked. He seemed very classy on the reunion. So that was good. Other than that, I mean, Sean, I almost forgot who he was. I was about to ask you who he was. And then I finally remember, like, oh, he was the guy that came in later on.
Yeah, the last guy. Right.
And hey, Lamar, thank you for joining and dropping the candies in the chat. Next, I want to talk a little bit about, because we'll get to Camille and them in a second, but I want to talk about Phil and Sydney. I think they had the most genuine connection out of everybody. And hey, Red Label Confessions, good to see you.
Hey, Red Label.
Phil, I'm glad Shiloh didn't show up, because I still felt like she was reaching and tried to make it seem like it was a domestic violence situation with her and Phil when it was not. And I think she was really just upset that Phil didn't choose her. So I feel like Phil and Sydney are the most genuine. They really like each other. You can tell. Even if all these people are actors, they are the ones that seem the realest.
And they do look good together. Okay, I give it in because I wanted him and Shiloh to be together. But Sydney, she's a gorgeous, she's a knockout. And she asked him about, before they committed, she did ask about what happened at that dinner. Why did he pick her up? And ongoing, like she said, I chose you and I was hoping that you chose me. So I feel like they will make a power couple. People keep asking them when is the engagement. So I mean, I don't think them two was actors now, because they got that glow on their face. That puppy love. They got that puppy love all over that face, honey.
Yes. So now I want to get to Camille and Cornelius. That's who's on the thumbnail for this episode. It's like, where do I begin with them? From from the beginning, I did not like Camille. I didn't like when everybody first met, she automatically said that Cornelius was her man and she didn't take the time out to get to know anybody else. And I understand, like, you might have that connection, but it seems so
Mm-hmm.
forced. And to me, Cornelius does not seem like he's into women. I'm gonna just put that out there.
You stuck with that one.
Yes. And then did you
You
know
got stuck with that one.
he had like fronts on his teeth at the bottom, and I don't know what that was about. And shout out to Misha Allen. I was watching her review. Somebody in her review said it looked like he had on a Gordon Gartrell shirt from the Cosby Show.
Uh-uh.
So that was hilarious. I'm not feeling Cornelius. Hey, just simply good to see you.
Hello, hello, hello. But
But
they talked about the faces that Camille gave throughout the whole show, and she gave a lot of faces. Hello, Sharon F. How are you?
hey, Sharon.
Um, she gave a lot of faces, and she claimed him from the beginning. From the beginning, hello, just simply from the beginning as her boyfriend. And I didn't catch the very first two episodes, and I didn't know that. And she even gave herself three names. When I saw that, I would say her name Shay Shay, somebody else, and Camille. And she said, "Oh, well, Shay Shay was the one that came when she came to the pool party." And I was like, "Huh?" It was like a little too much. It was just a little too much. But I just think that, I don't know. I don't know what to say about them two, but they seem like they're happy, and I hope and pray that it looked like they still together. He was rubbing on them legs, so trying to hold her together to keep one of them personalities from jumping out, honey.
It is so fake. And yes, just simply hit the nail on the head. The fact that Camilla's a teacher is scary. Like, I would hate for her to be my child's teacher because I would go off on her from the faces. And she tried to say that she was just acting or being putting on and being extra, but I could not stand all the faces she was making. She was making them at the reunion. And then
Mhm.
when Aisha was talking to her, shout out to Aisha and Dante, because I like them as a couple too. But when Aisha was talking about her interactions with her, Camille did say, if y'all put him at the bottom, I'm going to F y'all up. And they had to play the clip
Mhm.
like 2 or 3 times. Like, I even rewound my DVR back. Like, this lady did say she was going to F them up. And then for her to sit there and deny it and gaslight, because they were gaslighting her and Zadia were gaslighting. That was, it wasn't right. I think she is crazy. She has all these personalities. She says she went to therapy and now she don't have the personalities anymore. Lady is insane. She does not need to be a teacher. Allegedly she's a teacher because these all could be actors. So yeah, I wasn't feeling them at all. They are cringy to watch. Just simply said, Cornelius had on the grills. I guess he thought that was gonna make him look more masculine. And there's nothing wrong with wanting men, but he need to come correct and come clean. He does not want Camille. So,
Right. Right. And I still say, and some of the other ladies said that she was too possessive. And I've said that from day one. She's too possessive for any relationship. Any relationship with my child, a relationship with my man, relationship with your, hey, even with your parents. She is too possessive. And I'm just saying, she's just too possessive. And I really want, with them type of personalities, with all them names, I wouldn't want them in my class next season. I'm sure they watch the replay, and I don't want her in my daughter's class. That woman is that's the lady on this show, you know. So
because what I'm a straight up go to the I'm gonna straight up go to the parent teacher conference and be like, okay, are you Shay Shay today, or are you Miss Camille? Like, who are you today? So yeah, I don't think it's a good look. Like I said, and like just simply said, the fact that she's a teacher is scary. Another thing that I wanted to hit on, or Sharon also said, corny. It's funny you call him corny. Corny looked like a bellhop at the Marriott for Kids. No, he looked like he had on a Gordon Gartrell shirt, like they said. He looked like he had on a Gordon Gartrell shirt from the Cosby Show, some grills, and then he was just putting on. I wasn't feeling it at all. And then with Zadia, I wasn't feeling her either. This whole brown girl group or whatever it is very divisive. And they put color into it. Now we said this a few days ago when we reviewed it a few days ago. If the lighter skinned or lighter brown women would have came and made a light brown group or anything like that, it would have been an uproar. There would have been protests for this show. So the fact that these ladies did this, even though, and it's good to love your brown skin, but it was still divisive. I was offended by that. And I'm a brown skinned woman, but it offended me.
All of them spoke on, every last one of them did speak on it. And they also talked about how the brown girl group started, you know, it how it began. And to show you how irrelevant it is, I don't even remember how it began. They talked about it and I don't forget already. So to me, that is irrelevant. And everybody sitting on the other side of the with Aisha, they said she wasn't light enough, and she to me is a brown girl, because I'm definitely a brown girl. And us brown girls come in all shapes and all sizes and all complexions. So I don't think that was appropriate for them to say that. And Zadia is, like they said, not Dante, Naam, Naeem. He was the one that really cared for Zadia, and he made it seem like they were jealous of her, because they said every last one, he said every last one of them, and the guys, out 8 of them all picked Zadia as number 1. So, you know, for Zadia to leave, and that's maybe why he left also, because that was his strongest connection. And to me, he was taken up for the brown girl situation, because that's when he brought that up. You know, he was saying that they were her. And I really think that that's unfair. It's unfair. Zadia is a very but the thing with the brown girl thing, that's their clique. That's, it is what it is. We can't do anything about it. But there were all shades of complexions on that other sofa, and no one liked it. And if it was reversed, the lighter skinned girls, then it would have been something said about that. So I don't know the real reason behind it, but I don't like it, and maybe hope even the host didn't like it. The lady that hosts the show,
Exactly.
she didn't like it. Yeah, she didn't like it neither. So speak on it, and she felt some kind of way also.
Yes, and I
And
agree
I'm
with
sorry to hear that. Yeah, go ahead. You go ahead.
I was gonna say I agree with Just Simply. She said their brown girl squad was a way to exhibit their mean girl antics. Exactly. They were just mean girls, and they were being. I don't even know what they were mad at. Like they just were mean off top to every other woman on the show, and including Zadia. Like she pissed me off the most. I don't know why she pissed me off more than Camille. And then going Just Simply is on it too with these comments. Going to Naeem. He definitely needs a peach acting like Patricia from Real Housewives of Atlanta. Yes, he was all in. Yeah, he was acting just like Peter, all in the women's business. And I was with what's her name, Sydney, when she said, "Are the other men gonna say something?" Because that would have been me. None of the men spoke up and said anything about this man talking out of order in a conversation that was meant for the women. And then he gonna try to say that the other women were jealous of her. And I wanted to say, where were they jealous? He was like,
Yeah.
7 out of the 8 men wanted her. She was number one or whatever it was. And
Mhm.
I was with the
Mhm.
lady.
That's what I was saying.
How are, how
Mhm.
are we
That's
to
what I
know what
was
y'all?
saying.
Yeah, how are we to know what y'all deliberated about? What does that have to do with anything?
Right.
And if she,
Right.
yeah, if she was number one out of all the other ladies, then why was she off the show? Why was it down for to her and just two other men? Like, miss me with that, sir. He needed to sit himself down and shut the f up. Have a coke and a smile and shut the f up. That's really what he needed to
And
do.
to a degree, I think they might be a couple now to a degree. Cause did you notice how some of them actually match that was that was went off the show? That some of them actually really match, and the matching, like when we get down to Phil and Niam, Naeem, what is her name? Phil and
Moomin,
Mooney.
yeah.
Yeah, Frankie Mooney. Them two was matching, but to hear that date ended right after the flowers was given, I was dumbfounded. And then they matched, and he pat her on the leg and told her, "Tell the truth, tell
Right.
the truth."
Speaking of,
Cause
yeah,
yeah, you could have fooled me. You could have fooled me, honey.
speaking of Frank and Naeem, I'm sorry, Frank and Moomin. Frank reminded me of men that I dated prior to getting married. They string you along. They it's like you stop talking to them, then they come out of nowhere and it'll be like, "What's up, stranger? What happened?" And I'm like, "What?" And then when you respond, "Oh, you're moving too fast. You're calling me too much." So I don't think he should have came on the show. I think that when Sydney did not want him, he chose Moomin basically by default and basically wanted to finish the show. He was done though when Sydney didn't choose him. So I don't even. He seems like an F boy.
But I said a long time ago, Frank should have been gone home. I said I did not take Frank serious. And then I also said that him and Moomy, um, I thought would made the connection. And then they end up making the connection and find out that it didn't go nowhere. It went absolutely nowhere after filming. And that's what he said. He has not called this woman or nothing. So that does make me think, yes, maybe he was an actor. Maybe he was an actor, you
Yeah,
know. because for it not to go nowhere, another date, he promised to go to church with her, not a phone call, not nothing until this reunion come up. Come on, that's too much. That's too much of a getaway. That is too much of a giveaway. It is disrespectful, and he should have went home and he went through the process and he played on somebody's emotions, and that was wrong. Stop
That was
playing with these people's emotions like that. And Moomin did not deserve that. Moomin did not deserve it, and I didn't like it at all. I really felt for Moomin. When I heard that, like when I reviewed it, I'm like, no. And then they dressed alike to the T. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling you, I was not feeling that candy. I was not feeling it.
right. And hey, Pam, good to see you. Thank you for joining and dropping the candy in the chat. All the sugar babies are coming out. Yes, thank
All
y'all for
right.
coming. I want to go to Just Simply's comment. She said Frank is trifling and Moomin should have listened and ran away once she saw the red flags. Exactly. And we know her daddy saw those red flags when he met
Exactly.
her family. You could tell that they were not feeling him at all. And Frank is, I don't know if he's Nigerian. I know he's African, but I can't remember what country he's actually.
They're from the same tribe, and like half of him is from her father's tribe. And I was aiming. That was one of the reasons why he picked her. When it came down to the final two. But I think when they had to meet the parents that on the last assignment, they felt that he wasn't for Sydney. He was more of a guy friend. And it's just, and I think he had that feeling also.
Right. I'm gonna get to some of these comments. So Sharon said Moomin didn't go with her gut. She was abstaining, and he clearly told her he was hypersexual. Yes, because I forgot she was supposed to be celibate. I thought she was not having sex at all. And so it seemed like he would have forced her. Just Simply said Frank is hypersexual and Moomin is celibate. I know they were not compatible. Exactly. And Frank is Ghanaian. So he's from Ghana. And I think she's Nigerian. I thought somebody was Nigerian. Wherever he was from, he was very Americanized. And there was I've dated African men, being in, being in the DC area. I'm not going to tell exactly where you live. But being on the East Coast in the DC area, you meet a lot of African men. And so he's too Americanized for me. He just didn't have no business about himself, as we say in the African American culture. He didn't have no business about himself. And hey, healthier Mel, healthier you with Mel. Thank you for joining. But yeah, I was not feeling Frank. At first I was, because didn't Frank date Aisha at 1.2, or maybe I'm wrong. I can't remember. Frank dated so many of the women.
They took pictures in the booth. They was, I kind of thought they was leaning back, but see, I think Walter and Moomin should have been a couple that should have made it, because Sabrina stood him up and he picked her over Moomin. And the thing is just vice versa. You might as well say Frank stood her up, because after the show there was nothing. So maybe him and Sabrina dated also. So there you go. Then they wouldn't have to worry about it no more. That would have been it right there. Right. I think they need to bring Moomin on with the next Ready to Love that's coming in January, and allow her to pick. It's going to be done different in January. So I'm going to be down for it, because I want to see what this one is about too, because you got me watching it, and it took me a while to get in it. And now that I'm in it, I just can't stop.
Yes. Just Simply said Walter is an old school player and will hit and quit it. Right. Walter, for one, he's an okay looking guy, But I was not feeling Walter like that. And we have a Russian troll in here. Let me block it.
Again.
Yes, but Walter, I would have liked him with Moomin, but clearly Walter didn't want nobody, and I agree with just simply he's a little player. That's the way he comes off like an old zaddy to me. Even though I know he's not that old, I think he's like 46, 47. But he seemed like a zaddy to me. He's about 10 years older than me, but it's like, and he's too skinny for my
Okay.
taste. Real Label said, "You all are making me want to watch the show. The show is good. You have to start with all the seasons. This season, I didn't care too much for, but I mean, it was okay, but it just seemed so scripted. And I don't know if it's scripted because of the pandemic or what, but it wasn't. These couples seemed fake to me on this season, but I did like some of them. Like I said, I like Sydney and Phil. Shut up.
Yeah.
Let's hit that like button, sugar babies. Yes, hit the like button on your way in or out. However you feel.
Shot is on it, honey.
Yes, that Chi-Town is my mod, my other mod, Avielle. I haven't seen her in a minute. So, but Chi-Town is my mod tonight. Also make sure you guys subscribe to the Real Lovely C as well. Her link is in the description. But Sharon said Moomin allowed the Black Girl Squad to get in her head about Sabrina. Exactly. She sure did. They had no reason to not like Sabrina. Like Sabrina was all right. Yeah. It's it
But
was
did you notice how they had Sabrina, Sydney, the other women on, and Aisha and them on the other sofa, and they was against the other women on the other sofa, like
I can see
Zadia, Moomin.
I can see why, because Zadia gets violent. Not only did she hit Dante, but she was ready to fight Aisha. So it's like she needed. I really wish they wouldn't have even had her on the show in the beginning. I'm gonna say this about Zadia. Zadia was a beautiful brown lady to me. She very pretty, and
Very beautiful.
her personality seemed so good until she got with Camille. And Camille, it was like brought out the worst in her. I wish Zadia would have focused on really getting to know the men, and we would have saw that beautiful side of her, because I know she has it. She's a beautiful Black woman and she's in shape. Like I said, her personality seemed very nice, but she got with Camille, crazy self, crazy tail self, and just became. I don't like her now because of that. I'm gonna read some of these comments. Shadon said it seemed scripted and I couldn't get into this season. Right. Yeah, Shadon said thank you, real lovely. C. And just like you said,
Awesome.
Zadia also got into a little altercation with Carrie at the party that happened off camera. What? I didn't know that.
I didn't see
I didn't know that
that.
at all. I need the scoop on that.
Yes, indeed. I gotta go back. I gotta go back. Well, the next season. I mean, it's a shame that Tommy couldn't host the show. Because he had a cousin, and so he wasn't able. But I think the host that they had did a very good job hosting the show,
She
and
was
she was
good.
on it. Yeah.
She was good, but I really don't feel like she held Camille and Zadia accountable. And then she allowed Naeem to interject in a conversation that was between the women. And I didn't like that. And I really wish one of the other men, like I said before, I really wish one of the other men would have stood up and said something to him like, Negro, shut your mouth. Like,
I think they was backstage going, ooh, whoa, ooh, whoa. Like they wanted to say something, but they was backstage and they couldn't. We could hear them backstage because we watching, but they couldn't come out yet. You know what I'm saying? But this was a interesting season. I will be following it from now on. And next week is the part 2 and the final reunion for this episode. And I think that we covered everybody that they talked about. You want to talk about Cornelius some more because they brought him out.
Yeah. I want to read some of these comments. So Sharon says Zadia allegedly almost got into it with Sydney at Frank's party. So this is what I hate about Zadia. She gets, and I hate using this word to describe black women, but she gets aggressive. And to me, she is too pretty to carry herself and act like that. I don't know why she gets so aggressive with the different women. Like Zadia can stand on her own alone and shut everybody down with her personality and the way she looks. And it's like I don't know if it's an insecurity or what, but she get mad real quick. Going to Rep's comment, she said, "Yeah, I couldn't get into this season, but y'all are making me want to rewatch. At Just Simply, your comments are all on point. Yes, Just Simply has been on it."
Yeah, she be down. She's a good person to have in it because she's down with it. She's a good person to be in the chat to talk back to you, even if you ain't got nobody else. She can carry a conversation with you, honey. And she
Yes,
sure had my back. Yes, yes, yes. This
that
was a
reminds
good.
me.
Yeah. I thank you for bringing this show up for me to watch. I also thank for you helping me network. It's been wonderful. I know we said we're going to cut this down to a certain amount of time,
Yeah, we can
and
talk for about 5 more minutes. We can talk for 5 more minutes because I want to
okay,
get through comments.
okay,
So, Just Simply said this season was hard to get into. Yes. And Rep said, I do miss Tommy, his playful self, laugh aloud, but hope his family is okay. Didn't know that's why he was MIA. Yes. That is why he was MIA. I wish they could have had him on Zoom or something on a screen and did the
yeah,
union. I like the young lady. They should have did double, having her there plus Tommy there to host. That would have been cool too. I don't know
yeah.
why my daughter is knocking on my the door over there. But Sharon said, I have a question. Is it that women don't want to be called aggressive by other women, or is that for men too? So hold on just for a second. All right. So the aggressive thing, a lot of times black women are labeled as the angry black woman or too aggressive. And usually it's someone that is not black that is calling us that. And they like anytime you feel passionate about something, they want to automatically label you as aggressive. So that's why
Exactly.
a lot of times, like I get offended by that because I work in the corporate world, in the corporate world, I might feel passionate about something. I'm a manager too. I'm an alpha female as it relates to work. And so I've been called aggressive as it relates to work. And I feel like that, like you're trying to play in my
Label
face
you.
when you call me
Right.
aggressive. Now, if a counterpart, my non-black counterpart acts the same way that I act, all of a sudden things get done. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just funny to
Mm-hmm.
me that they label us that. So that's why I hate to label Zadia as aggressive, but she is actually, in fact, being aggressive to me. So I don't tell me what some of you think about that as well. Zadia's behavior as it relates to her emotions because she is like too emotional. Shano said, "I think we aren't taking their BS any. We're I think we aren't taking their BS anyone, so that's why they label us that. Yes, that we're not taking their stuff, but going
Yeah, but
to
you brought that up.
oh, and hey, Nikki Pooh, good to see you. Um, the next episode, we get to see Corey. I don't know why Corey is crying. He looks like he's acting. I don't see what Corey has to cry about, but that's what we're gonna see the next episode. And I think they're gonna dive more into Frank and how he played Moomin because it seemed like they. I saw some clips where they talk about the other women that he dated. So, what are your final thoughts? Real lovely C. You froze. Can you hear me?
My final thoughts is I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hmm.
Can you
Yes.
hear me? Okay.
Yes.
My final thoughts is I overall it was a little shaky in the beginning. Some of the ones that made a good connection. The two that I really think made a good connection was Dante and Aisha, and Sydney and Phil. I think they will continue to make a good connection, and they will have a long relationship. You know, do I see Aisha and Dante getting married? No, I don't. But I can see Phil and Sydney walking down the aisle. Um, and that's what this journey is about, finding love. And not to say that Aisha and Dante won't, but I think it I think that Sydney and them would be down the aisle within the next year. By next Christmas or her birthday, whatever special occasion comes up, he's asked her to marry her. I truly believe. And maybe Aisha and Dante, it may happen to them, but I would think maybe in the next 2 years. You understand? But as the couple staying together, I think it's them two. I think it's them two. I think out of all the couples, they made a good connection. Um, Naeem, he was in his feelings too much. Really taking up for Zadia the way he did, because that really wasn't her connection, because her connection was really somebody else, but they sent her home. So if that wasn't the fact, then things would have played out a little different. So other than that, I guess I can't wait to see the next reunion, part 2.
Yes, thank you, real lovely C. So just simply said the reunion gave more than the season, and she is absolutely correct. So my final thoughts is I do like Aisha and Dante, because he has his kids, she has hers. They don't want any more kids, so I see them lasting. And I like Phil and Sydney as well. I do hope that I don't have to see Cornelius and Camille anymore. I think their relationship is fake. I don't like them. I don't like Zadia and Naeem either. They can exit left. I want to see what's going on with Tasia, because she walked off during this first episode or part of the reunion. So we'll see what part 2 holds. Thank you all for joining, sugar babies. Make sure you drop the candy and the purple hearts in the chat. Make sure you subscribe to the Real Lovely C. Thank you for joining me on this review. We've reviewed the whole season. Actually, next Sunday, catch us reviewing. You can catch us reviewing part 2 of the reunion. We can do it next Sunday as well. But thank you all. Thank you, reps. I'm going to close us out. They're dropping the candy and the purple hearts in the chat. Everybody have a good evening. Make sure you subscribe. Hit that like button on your way out. Again, I'm the Candy Shop, and this was the Real Lovely C. Good night, everybody.
Good night,
everyone. I want to welcome everybody to my channel, the Candy Shop.